are you? こんにちは皆さん、お元気ですか? Today, karate video number 52, and I'm going to talk about the difference between Bushido and BUDO. First, I'm going to explain about BUDO. BUDO, you say martial arts. But this kanji, the first one, Bu, this is something to do with martial, like the combat. But this kanji comes from these two radicals. And this kanji, this one, this part, it comes from this one. Tomemasu, to stop. And here, this one, it comes from this, and it means spare. So stop the spare. Stop the spare, this one. It means you use your skill, the combat skills, but to stop violence and to preserving the peace. This kind of meaning. And though this is the path, the way, or the street, this is BUDO. So the way to stop the violence using your combat skill. Bushido. This is warrior code, or the way of warrior. The way of warrior. Bushi is warrior. And this second kanji shi, it means the knight, the man. So military man, the warrior. And do, so the code. So this is samurai code of chivalry. Rekishi, rekishi, history. Well, the term BUDO, but before Edo Jidai, before Edo period, before 1603, this was called Bugei at first, and after Bujutsu. And then in Edo Jidai, BUDO. And what's the meaning? Bugei and Bujutsu is only technique, martial techniques. Martial techniques, how to combat well and how to kill. Like this, only the technique. But in Edo period, it has changed the meaning. And with more seishin, spirituality, seishin. Because now BUDO, then this is not only the technique. So you practice your technique, the martial skills, but doing so, you try to be the better person with a spirituality. This is BUDO. The difference between only the technique, no. With BUDO, this is more spirituality. And Bushido, this is ideology or values or beliefs. And BUDO and Bushido is different. BUDO is a martial arts which you practice, and with this, you try to be the better personality with better person with BUDO. And Bushido is this ideology. Before the peaceful period of Edo Jidai, there was Sengoku Jidai, quite long, over 140 years. It was from 1467 to 1615. In this kanji, Sengoku Jidai. This sen, it comes from senso, the war. Goku, kuni, the country. So all Japan was in the war. Sengoku Jidai, the period of civil war. This was Sengoku Jidai. The beginning of the Sengoku Jidai was the Onin War. We say in Japanese, Onin no Ran. Onin no Ran. It is also known as the upheaval of Onin. It was a civil war that lasted from 1467 to 1477 for 11 years. Onin refers to the Japanese era during which the war started. It was a dispute between two clans, but it escalated into a nationwide civil war involving the Ashikaga shogunate and a number of daimyo in many regions of Japan. The war initiated the Sengoku period, the warring state period. This period was long, drawn-out struggle for domination by individual daimyo, resulting in a mass power struggle between the various houses to dominate the whole of Japan. The Sengoku period, Sengoku Jidai, is a period in Japanese history of near constant civil war, social upheaval, and political intrigue from 1467 to 1615. Modern Japan recognizes Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu as the three great unifiers for their restoration of central government in the country. The words BUDO and Bujutsu are used interchangeably in English with the term martial arts. But BUDO and Bujutsu have quite a delicate difference. Bujutsu only gives attention to the physical part of fighting, how to best defeat an enemy. But BUDO also gives attention to the mind and how one should develop oneself. The first significant occurrences of the word BUDO date back to the 16th century and were used to describe the samurai lifestyle rather than the practice of martial techniques. The word was later re-theorized and redefined to the definition we know today. The word Bujutsu in modern history, it is translated as martial art, military science, or military strategy, depending on context, and it's typified by its practical application of technique to real-world or battlefield situations. BUDO, meaning martial way, has a more philosophical emphasis. But anyway, it's very difficult to say the difference between BUDO and Bujutsu. Sometimes the differences are considered historical. And also sometimes it's said the difference is in training methods, training philosophy, or emphasis on spiritual development. Many people consider BUDO a more civilian form of martial arts as an interpretation or evolution of the older Bujutsu that are categorized as a more militaristic style or strategy. According to this distinction, the modern civilian art de-emphasizes practicality and effectiveness in favor of personal development from a fitness or spiritual perspective. The difference is between the more civilian versus military aspect of combat and personal development. Bushido is a moral code concerning samurai attitude, behavior, and lifestyle, and it's loosely analog to the European concept of chivalry. This Bushido formalized earlier samurai moral values and ethical code, most commonly stressing a combination of sincerity, frugality, loyalty, martial arts mastery, and honor until death. 宗教religion, because there are 4 religions that had a great influence in Bushido. One of them, Bukkyo, Buddhism, Bukkyo. And the second, Shintoism. And Zen. Well, Zen is a part of Buddhism, but Zen, Japanese Zen, so this is a little bit different from Buddhism. So I wrote here Zen too. Then Jukyo, Confucianism from China. And these 4 things, 4 religions, got lots of influence on Bushido. Shintoism is the ancient native religious traditions of Japan practiced in a highly ritualistic setting. The Shinto shrine was full of many gods and goddesses who lived in the forests, mountains, water bodies, and even the air. Shintoism gave samurai their strong belief in tradition and the will to fight for their homeland and for their ancestors, family, friends. The Buddhism gave Bushido the importance of acceptance, the acceptance of destiny, all kinds of destiny. For example, they say, you must live when you must live, but you must accept your death when you must die. Zen Buddhism gave the samurai the morals that allowed them to be effective warriors without atrocities. Zen also gave the samurai the ability to better focus in combat and to practice the timeless adage of mind over matter, now and here. Confucianism stresses the importance of leading an ethical life that includes respect for authority. The samurai enthusiastically embraced Confucian ideals due to the advocacy of what they believed was the natural hierarchy of man. Confucius articulated how the Japanese should view their shoguns, daimyos, and samurai. To the samurai, loyalty to superiors was never questioned. And also, it's very important what you are thinking or what you thought, you must do it. So your thought and the done is the same thing. What you think, then you must do it. In 1899, a man called Nitobe Inazo wrote a book called 7 Virtues of Bushido. And I already made a video about it that was in karate video number 23. Well, I want to put the link below in the description so you can check it. 7 Virtues of Bushido. And now I'm going to tell just one of it. Lei. Lei, this is the reverence that we do. We bow. This is rei. But it comes from reigi, courtesy. Reigi, courtesy, or the good moral, or respect. The word rei or reigi, this means respect. And respect means that you acknowledge your regard for the experiences and feelings of others. In order to collaborate with another person, politeness must be employed. It's very important even with your enemies. So you see, before loyalty was so important. Loyalty is called chugi. maybe you could die just because of chugi, loyalty. In 1642, the Kashoki, this is the book's name, Amusing Notes. It is Amusing Notes, was written by samurai Saito Chikamori. He was born in 1603 and he died 1674. So it was in Edo period. And this was the first known description of morality of Bushido. And the Bushido spirit was the Kashoki. And I'm going to tell you. The essence of Bushido is do not lie, do not be insincere, do not be obsequious, do not be superficial, do not be greedy, do not be rude, do not be boastful, do not be arrogant, do not slander, do not be unfaithful, be on good terms with comrades. Do not be overly concerned with events. Show concern for one another. Be compassionate with a strong sense of duty. Being a good samurai takes more than merely a willingness to lay down one's life. This was in the fifth scroll of the Kashoki by Saito Chikamori, and it was written in 1642. I told you the terms BUDO and Bushido are used after Edo Jidai, after the Edo period. So this is the peaceful period. But this is Edo Jidai till 1868. But we use much more often in Meiji Jidai, after the restoration, Meiji Restoration, 1868 till 1912. In this period, BUDO, Bushido, these words are used much often. I think you understand the difference between BUDO and Bushido. So BUDO is for you, or BUDO is for everyone who practice martial arts. BUDO, so it is for everyone. But Bushido is not for us. Bushido is for Bushi or for samurai. So this is the difference. But there's something very similar is these two words, BUDO and Bushido. These two words were born in the peaceful time, the both. Did you like this video? If so, please give me a like. And if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please subscribe it. And if you share my videos with your friends, your families, that will help me a lot. 今日もここまで見てくださってどうもありがとうございます。ぜひチャンネル登録といいねボタン、それから私のビデオをお友達とシェアしていただけたらとても嬉しいです。ぜひお願いします。また会いましょう。じゃあね。バイバイ。